back again for another album exchange. Over the course of the past 2 weeks, she's given me an album to listen to, and I've given her one as well. And here we are today to give our reviews of said albums. First off, what I had her listen to this week was Dawes, their debut album entitled North Hills. Came out in 2009 on ATO Records. Yeah.
The album that I gave Andy to listen to is called Singing Bones. It's by the Handsome Family, and it came out in 2003 by Carrot Top Records, or on Carrot Top Records. How do you say that?
Carrot Top Records?
Oh.
We're not showing the physical album because we don't have it. I listened to this via the interwebs, so I'll just post a little photo from time to time when I'm discussing what I have to say about that album. So first off, as far as how we discovered these bands, I guess.
You want to start, or you want me to start?
Go ahead.
Okay. I came across the song Far From Any Road. I was listening to an indie playlist on Spotify, and I loved the song. I think you guys should give this album a listen because of the unique way the Handsome Family combines storytelling and musical style.
I think, well, I chose this for her to listen to because, well, first off, I had their fifth studio album, or still have it, that I got a few months back, and I showed it in a VC video, and my good buddy Stavros, aka Spinning Greek, he felt so inclined to mail me this, which is their debut album. He said, I really think you'll like this one a little more. The fifth album is a little more pop oriented, where this one is more folk rock. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason I gave this to her to listen to this week.
Here's some background information on the Handsome Family. Brett and Rennie Sparks are an American husband and wife duo who officially became a band in 1993. Singing Bones is their seventh studio album. Rennie's passion is for writing and painting, while Brett's lies in writing music. After helping Brett with lyrics one day, Rennie and he decided to become a team. Inspired by early folk music with its rich storytelling and by artists such as Hank Williams and Bob Dylan, they created their own sound, which has been described as Americana, alternative country, and indie rock.
As for background on Dawes, they're an American folk rock band from Los Angeles. They're described as having a Laurel Canyon sound. Their music is derived from such artists as Crosby, Stills and Nash, Joni Mitchell, and Neil Young. Recorded in Laurel Canyon, which is a region of the Santa Monica Mountains nestled in the Hollywood Hills. It was recorded in a live setting, straight to analog tape, resulting in a sound that Rolling Stone magazine called authentic and vintage.
My initial reaction to the album was that I really enjoyed it. I would wholeheartedly recommend that you listen to the album. I can't say the word wholeheartedly.
Wholeheartedly?
I can't say that.
Is that it?
That's it.
My initial reaction, I hated it.
Yeah.
3 songs in, I was ready to turn it off. Brett Sparks, the singer, his baritone vocals are so low and waltzy style country, it nearly put me to sleep. But I said that I would continue to listen to this. We made an agreement. So for the past 2 weeks, I have listened to this over and over again. That's just my initial reaction. Meaning and mood?
Well, on North Hills, I felt like Taylor's poetic lyrics are both melancholy and romantic. I would describe the album's mood as brooding and reflective, with a sound that's similar to Neil Young and Crosby, Stills and Nash. Taylor sings about relationships and his observations on life.
Meaning and Mood on the Handsome Family. They're an alt-country American duo. Their style blends country, bluegrass, and murder ballads. Lyrically, their song themes center around gothic fiction to American folk. To me, the songs are something you would expect to hear in a David Lynch movie or a Coen Brothers movie. It's just kind of it's got that weird factor to it. Plus, the song "Far From Any Road" is the theme to an HBO show called True Detective, and I would say that fits that show pretty well from what I've seen from it.
Talking about standout tracks, most of the songs had a soft, steady beat that you can tap your foot to. When listening to this album, I immediately felt relaxed and uplifted. My favorite songs were "Give Me Time," "Let Me Be Your Anchor," and "Take Me Out of the City." Mostly because I just love the lyrics.
You left out like my favorite song.
What's your favorite?
Where's the album at? What'd you do with it? I can't remember anything. When My Time Comes.
Didn't I say that?
Did you?
Well, it's one of... Honestly, I like all of them. I mean, they're all great. There weren't any songs that I didn't like. It was hard to choose, like, a top 3.
They're a Mumford band. That's the way I look at it. They've got that Mumford and Sons kind of feel to their rootsy, just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
But I think When My Time Comes is the best song on that album, my personal opinion.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Just throwing mine in there. Okay, standout tracks for this album: The Forgotten Lake, Fallen Peaches, which is a Civil War murder ballad, Dry Bones. Dry Bones reminds me of an old church song, something that they would do in like an old-timey church. The Song of 100 Toads, because that reminded me of a George Jones song. The way he sung it, I don't know, just something about it. And my favorite song, to pick a favorite song on this album, would have been The Bottomless Hole. But the problem I have with that song is it's unfinished. It's like they leave you hanging and they don't tell you what happens next. And that bothered me about that song.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
My favorites were pretty much the same.
Really?
The Song of 100 Toads, Dry Bones, Far From Any Road, and 24-Hour Store. Those were my favorites.
Okay, let's go into the dislikes. Let me do mine first. I did not like 24-Hour Store. Isn't that the one that's got the saw blade noise going in the background? The like ghost sound kind of thing?
Maybe.
I didn't like that. It was too annoying. That song was annoying. Gail with the golden hair, I didn't like that one either. It was too I don't know. I didn't care for that one. But the worst of the worst, at the end of side A and at the end of side B, it's kind of the same song with 2 different titles that they've changed the words a little bit to. The songs "If the World Should End in Fire" and then "If the World Should End in Ice." I didn't like either one of those.
Well,
I didn't think they were necessary for the album. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were trying to do with that.
My least favorites were "If the World Should End in Fire" and "Sleepy." So. Okay, I wanted to throw a little bit more in there. Andy says I'm out of sequence, but I didn't really get to talk about why I like Brett and Rennie a while ago. I think Rennie's lyrics are awesome. They're often macabre in nature. I like Brett's deep baritone voice. I think it's rich and hauntingly beautiful. Brett takes Rennie's lyrics and he composes the music and style for them. And in an interview, they were saying that sometimes Rennie's surprised by the musical style that he comes up with. Brett, he goes back and forth between being serious and being silly. And part of me likes that, and part of me wishes he would maybe do a silly song here and there, or a serious, maybe not go back and forth in the same song.
I think the songs are sung as if there's a joke that we're not supposed to get.
Yeah.
Because when I first listened to this, I thought, is this like a comedy album? But it's not. They're singing about, they're taking very serious. But
it's really serious material, but he's being silly and playful. I think the album's meaning lies in the dark, sad stories that Brett and Rennie tell together. You can imagine yourself at a campfire with Brett strumming his guitar and inviting you into this world of ghost stories, tales of murder, and various woes that are really creative in nature, I thought. What I didn't like, if you've listened to several of his albums, his musical style can be a little repetitive. I feel like if he was to write the lyrics himself, he might be more in sync with like the beat of the lyrics. And
like I said, like half the songs on the album, they all kind of sound the same to me.
Yeah, they sound really similar.
It's real waltzy kind of country kind of tempo that
he could mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, he could.
My overall opinion, they're not mainstream, and I like that. For me, that's a positive thing. I especially enjoyed Rennie's beautiful poems. I wanted you guys to check them out because you're not likely to come across them unless, someone recommends them.
So. I never would have heard of them unless you introduced them to me, so.
But it's a fun album.
It's a fun album. Is that your overall?
Yeah,
okay.
It's fun to listen to.
My overall, after multiple listens, it's not horrible, but it's not overly amazing either. I think it's an acquired taste. Because like I said, when I first started listening to it, I didn't like it. But the more you listen to it, you kind of lean toward it a little bit.
Well, I think you kind of listened to it at like the wrong time too. Because you were kind of listening to it at the end of the day, at night, with headphones. And like being really serious about it.
That's my convention taste.
I enjoy it more, during the day. Like when
I couldn't listen to it during the day because it would put me to sleep. Like I said, the standout tracks that I mentioned, they're worth taking a listen to. Would I download it? Maybe. Would I buy it on vinyl? Probably not, because I don't know really how often I would be in the mood to want to listen to it.
Yeah.
So, you can do your rating?
Sure.
So, which one are we rating first?
You want to do our picks first?
Well, go ahead and do the Dawes album.
Okay.
What is your rating for this album?
I gave it a 10. Oh, you can't really see my 10 because you can't go wrong.
You gave it a 10?
Yeah.
Look at that. Stavros, you did good. 10?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I give it a 7. It's not a bad album, but it's not like the greatest album I've ever heard. But I'll listen to this over and over again.
Well, there wasn't anything that I could pick on. There wasn't any songs that I didn't like.
It's got a lot of great songs on it.
Yeah.
My biggest drawback, honestly, is I think this was recorded at 45 speed because there's only 3 songs on each side. So you have to get up and turn the record over quite often while listening to it. Mm-hmm. That's probably the biggest drawback I had about it. But musically, yeah, I give it a 7. Now, as far as the Handsome family singing Bones, what do you got?
7.
You can't even see that.
I know.
7. She gave it a 7. Because
there are a few songs that I wasn't crazy about, but overall, I think it's a really playful, fun album, and I listen to it. I've been listening to it frequently, like since I discovered it.
I give it a 5.
Wah, wah.
That's a good album. 5's a good album. It's not the greatest album in the world, but it's a 5.
Well, when you rate, are you rating based on just how you feel about it personally?
Yeah.
Or like for everybody, is that rating?
I don't care what anybody else thinks about anything I listen to.
My ratings are just personal.
That's right. My ratings are personal. It's my opinion.
Yeah, just
you might think it's the greatest album in the world, or you might think, why would you give that a 5? That thing's horrible. So I base everything on my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, I am guilty. I will do research while I'm listening to it. I'll see what other people have said about it to match opinions. But a lot of people I didn't agree with. Some I did agree with on opinions of the reviews on this album. So, there you go. So, that being said, we're done?
We're done.
We're done. Okay. A little something special for you. We both decided that the next album we review, we will let you, the faithful YouTube subscriber, you get to choose what album you want us to review. So in the comments below, throw out 2 albums, and you can either tag one of our names, either put one for Sonny or one for me, or just throw an album out there that you would like to see one of us review, and we'll go through that list during the course of the next few days, assuming someone comments some stuff, and we'll give those albums a listen, and in about 2 weeks' time, we'll give a review of what we thought. Mm-hmm. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. Well, that's it for now. We'll see you later.
See you next time.
Peace.